Hey, 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 run for your life. So we're cartoons tonight. Welcome to
We're
30 Tuesday.
cartoons. It's Card Tuesday. Is that what you just said?
Cartoons. No, I said welcome to 30 Tuesday, but Cartoons Day sounds
Card
cool too.
Tuesday.
Appropriate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is
So,
the first time that we've all been avatars.
Appropriate.
wow.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, ladies, what are you sipping on tonight?
Bourbon, bitch.
I'm
Bourbon
drinking
with
32 ounces of bourbon.
yeah, I have about that, except I've cut it. Maybe it's like I'm drinking 16 ounces of bourbon with like 16 ounces of seltzer and like, I don't know, a couple milliliters of the other shit you put in an old
16
fashioned.
ounces of bourbon is crazy behavior.
I mean, you said you were drinking 32.
You don't have to tell me tomorrow, right?
You know, pot kettle.
We would actually be dead by the end of the stream.
I don't know about you. I have a solid liver.
16 ounces,
You know, I'd throw up a lot.
a pint of bourbon.
I'd be like that girl that I saw last
I would
time.
be asleep.
I went on. I remember I told you I went to that bar and I went into the bathroom, and this girl was like encouraging her girlfriend to just like. She's like, "Girl, just do it, and she's like, "I don't know." She's like, "I think I got to do it," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Do what?" Because I'm in the stall and I'm nosy. And she's like, I keep telling her to boot and rally. She's gonna feel so much better. I was like, oh yeah, girl, puke.
Yeah, you
Then you
gotta
can drink
boot and
some water. You'll
rally.
be good. I was like, you're in your 20s, boot and rally. That shit still works.
Yeah.
Anyway,
With that
speaking of
said,
adolescent behavior, yay! You guys were doing a Goofy movie. Woo.
so I watched this
Woo.
actually for the first time a couple years ago because Nikki bullied me because I'd
I
never seen
sure
it before.
did.
Thank you for the bullying. A couple years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
like
shame.
maybe like 2 years ago.
Shame.
I don't know. I
Shame
just never
indeed.
saw it.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of it when you saw it for the first time?
It was cool. You know, it was cool. I wasn't
That's
like, yeah, I mean, I wasn't like, oh my God, I have to watch this like every weekend.
Every day for like 7 years straight.
I was like, oh, I should play this for my kids. And they watched some of it, but
yeah, but
it's hard for them to pay attention.
Me and Ellington are gonna watch it on Thursday. I'm gonna indoctrinate your children.
He'll watch it because it's with you.
Yeah, exactly. That means he'll probably watch the Muppets too.
I don't know. He's not into
Which
Muppets.
one?
I am a fan of all of the Muppets, any and all.
Yeah, fair. Same.
Garvey's
My favorite
more into,
Muppets, if you want
Garvey's
to
more
know.
into Muppets than Sulu is.
My favorite Muppets, besides like the original cast and crew, like Kermit and vibes, are
And
Telly and Grover. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the first time you saw this? Classic.
What year did this come out again?
It's 25 years old. No, wait, hold on. I think it's
30 years old.
30 years old this year.
30 years old this year. I'm fairly certain I was in high school and my cousins were in middle school, and we didn't go to the theaters to see it, but once we got it from the library, we probably watched it a good 4 or 5 times a month for several years.
Yeah, similarly. It came out, so 30 years old was 95. I don't really remember the first time I watched it, but Jackie's going to be joining us later, and it was one of those VHS ones that we got, and it was new, so we watched it over and over and over again. And I know this movie by heart, and you should be glad that Jackie's not here yet, because we would have already been sung After Today, and we would have taken the soundtrack through the entire movie. I think that before we go any further in speaking about this movie, we have to acknowledge how great the soundtrack is. Well, the Powerline songs, because Tevin Campbell.
So I was familiar with the soundtrack.
I
just hadn't watched the movie, but I was also a big Tevin Campbell fan, and the soundtrack was really popular. Because that's back when like the soundtracks for movies were just like really popular,
and when they were made specifically for movies, boys and girls.
Yeah. Instead of just like a playlist of the songs the music supervisor chose. It's like
exactly
right.
You know,
right. Everything fit the scenes that it was put into. And this is probably the movie that made me start paying attention to soundtracks. April 7th, 1995. I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah. I wasn't in high school yet. I was like an 8th grader. So almost.
Am I the old maid?
Uh-oh, you in your crone era?
Crone out, bestie. Yeah, this was like an instant classic because my little brother, he was probably, what was he were? So he was like 4 around that time, and he loved Goofy, like diehard Goofy fan. Which is really fun because, like, you know, people like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and stuff, but he was Goofy all day. To the point I'll talk about this when Jackie gets on because it was a very cute story. But yeah, we played it all the time. We sang all the songs. I remember my mom watching it with us a bunch. And I didn't, you know, it's like when you're leaving 8th grade and you're going into high school, like one of the things I really like about this movie is just like they nail teenage drama so well, but without it being super over the top. You know, it's like it's dramatic and it's teeny angsty, but it's not like Disney Channel soap opera drama.
It's to the right amount. And also I think it's worth noting that this is the movie that also firmly cemented in my brain what Goofy was. Because every other character, you can tell exactly what their demographic is supposed to be. Goofy was we never really knew what he was. Like can you call him a dog? I mean, well, no, not really. Pluto's a dog, but Pluto don't go and doesn't have a mortgage.
I thought you were about to say that you realize Goofy's a black man.
That's exactly what I just said.
That's where we're going with it. That's why, I mean, this film is widely recognized as the Black Disney movie, you know, way before Princess Tiana.
Absolutely. And the reason I know I will always argue that, especially today, I was telling one of my work friends that I was going to watch this. And when I told her about the stream we were doing, she said, "Oh, is it what was the theme?" I said, "Well, they do a thing like once a month, and this is the thing that they picked for damn it, what's the freaking
Dirty Tuesdays?"
Yeah, well, no,
Messy Love Stories
for the Valentine's Day, yeah, because it's a messy teenage love story, but also it's Black History Month, and she was like, yes, got it. And this is a very white woman that already knew what the deal was. I didn't even have to explain that.
Yo, that's hilarious because when we said that we were gonna do Unfaithful, like we'd already slated it and talked about it, and then I was like, oh shit, Tanya, it's Black History Month. And we were like, oh no, we got to do a movie. But we didn't, like, we couldn't think of like a messy love story that we really wanted to do. And then I was like, a Goofy movie. It's Black and it's a messy love story.
Perfection.
Perfection. So
10 points to Ravenclaw for that one. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what did you guys think about that dream up front? The movie opens with an anxiety dream.
Oh, of him turning into his dad. Yeah, I think that if I dreamt I was turning into my mom, it would probably be a nightmare too.
It's more of a living nightmare, I think, at this point in my life, because me and my cousins catch ourselves a lot saying random things when we're yelling at the kids, and they'll look at me and be like, "Okay, Allison." And I was just about to say, do you ever catch yourself saying or doing something and you're like, oh my God, I'm my mother?
All the time.
Increasingly now, especially into my 40s.
Yeah, it's wild. I think it's like when I don't think that I ever really, like, I knew that that's what was happening at the time. But when I was watching it again last night, I was like, man, joke's on you. You have no choice. You're gonna turn into your parents. Like, that's why that one insurance commercial is so funny, because you're like, no. Don't do this. You don't do that.
Oh yeah,
homeowners.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I never dreamt about turning into my parents, but as I get older, I definitely catch myself saying things, and I catch Jackie saying them too. And I'm just like, okay, Mrs. My mom, like,
Yeah,
I see you over
it
there.
definitely speeds up when you have kids. Like it
Mhm.
accelerates.
Man, oh, Goofy. I love Goofy as a dad. I wish that Goofy was my dad. It actually reminds me a little bit of my dad. And I was just like, I have in my notes, I was like, he was gentle parenting before it was a thing.
Oh,
He did. I do have one slight against him in that regards with the parenting, though.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Please start listening to your children when they're trying to tell you their thoughts and how they feel about
hell
stuff.
no.
Why they may be uncomfortable in things. Tanya.
What specifically are you talking about?
Like the first off, it seemed like we were going through and looking at a kidnapping scene where he's trying to take this boy cross country to a random lake that he did not ask to go to and does not want to go to.
Okay, wait. AK, before you go any further, would you have had a choice?
Right?
My parents dragged our asses all over the world. You know?
I understand. And because that is in my heart and scarred upon my soul, yeah, that I noticed that behavior and I don't like it.
You know, some of these things that happened there, like that Max was getting away with, like the back talk and stuff, made me question whether or not this was indeed one of us.
A little bit. You are not wrong, because
he was an overcompensating single dad.
Yeah, I would love to know where the former Miss Goofy.
Well, it's a Disney movie, so she's probably dead.
I would have liked.
Yeah, that's what I always assumed.
Yeah, she's probably dead because Disney likes to kill moms.
Yeah. Or Goofy was like such a player that like no one woman could tie him down. Because you see how he was like when he was like taking the pictures like at his job, like the photo booth. She's like, "You have such a way with children," and he's like all blushing. And I was like, "You know, Goofy was getting
like, and you know what? Because that you have to factor that into the equation of the anomaly that is Goofy. He excels at Riz.
He is
like with the babies. Talking to people, period, with women we've seen, like, so very clearly he didn't have a problem getting any. And I kind of like the idea that nobody could tie him down, even Max's mom. Maybe she is still alive out there in the ether, but he was like, you know what, I'm not feeling this no more, but I'm taking my baby, bye.
Yeah, I feel that. Goofy, yeah, he's so sweet. And just like throughout the whole movie, you just see how like what a kind soul he is. Goofy makes me so happy. And I also yeah. And he also
Wait, test real quick. Is my sound better now?
It was really good at first and then it went out of it, but yeah, now it sounds better. But I don't know, like everybody he meets likes him. You know, he's just so friendly. And I really, really like that. I want more Goofy in the world.
He was not like outright tackled to the point of maybe breaking something by security up on stage. And I found that to be amazing.
He smiled and kept dancing.
And jumped in with the dance moves. The star of the show didn't even say nothing. He was just vibing with the vibe.
He wanted to, but Powerline knows that the show must go on.
He's a professional. Absolutely.
Yep. So funny. I think one of my favorite parts of the movie is the concert at the school. Because it's so epic. Let's see, Standout. I'm trying to think if it's Standout or if it's Eye to Eye that has an extra verse when you listen to the soundtrack, because the performance is actually really short, but I know the song goes on longer than that. But I was just like, yo, first of all, he's having this conflict with his dad, and he was like, "Oh my God, you almost vacuumed up my cardboard cutout. It's like only the biggest star in the whole world, Dad." You know, just like remember that feeling. Like, why don't you know why? Why don't you understand why I love fill in the blank pop star from your age? And and it's just like, oh man, so you get like that, and then it's the last day of school, and I really like the last day of school as a setup because it just lends itself to summer potential. And it's funny because before he does the performance and he's like walking down the street and he's like singing about this girl that he's like all into, and then he sees her and she just keeps walking by because she didn't even realize that he was there. He's like, she looked right through me, and you're like, no, she didn't see you. But it made me remember also, like, after when he finally like does talk to her, that you remember getting tongue-tied talking to like your crush or someone that you really liked. Do you remember those days? No,
I simply never talked to them.
I didn't have that problem.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Popularity.
No.
She said I always been
popular.
She said, I don't know about y'all, but I always been her.
Cheers! I raise my glass to you.
Only. No, I think I just didn't have that problem because I was used to being around people. Like lots of people.
Tanya, she said they kept us in a box.
What'd you say?
I said that you said they kept us in a box.
I mean, well, look, you've seen 2-bedroom apartments in New York.
Yeah, that's true.
When you grow up in living in a generational family, that for those that are listening later and don't know, that is like multiple generations, grandparents, parents, kids, maybe sometimes the greats and the uncles and aunts all living in one household, you lose some degree of shyness pretty early on.
True. That's very true.
So I could get the words out if I decided to make them, but yeah, stuttering.
Like, so you were able just to like walk up to your crush and be like, "Hey, boo."
That's if I had one. I wouldn't say "Hey, boo." I would find an actual legit reason to speak to them, and then maybe fill it out and see where we go from there.
I was friends with my crush already.
I was friends with crushes. They never knew that I had a crush. No.
Oh,
I was afraid. It's so funny because something happened recently that I was telling Tanya about, is that I was doing a gig and I saw somebody who I thought was really attractive. And then it turns out that I recognized them from the industry that they're in. And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. My friend, being like the darling sweetheart that he is, arranged it on purpose, now that I think about it, for us to have dinner at the same table during this event. And so he's like, oh, you can sit right there next to him. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? When I tell you that I was tongue-tied, I couldn't even eat my food. I couldn't even eat. Like, I had like 2 bites of a biscuit and I was just so nervous. And I was like looking at him and I had no idea what to say. Like, my hands were hot and shit. And then like finally they started talking about Germany and I was like, whoa, this is my in. But like up until then, AK, I like to eat. Girl, not a single fucking bite.
When
shout out though, quick, raise your glass, ladies. Shout out to the wingmen and wing ladies out there. Be putting in that good work.
I am a great wing lady.
When I had a crush on my husband, I would text him random things. Like just anything random, because I just wanted to like have a line of communication open, and like I wanted him to think I was cool. You scared the shit. He just walked up behind me and scared the shit out of me.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
Hey, Radar.
He just walked up behind me and scared the absolute shit out of me.
That's hilarious. You summoned him. I mean, what did you expect?
Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Poof. Huh?
Oh man.
Tell him we're sorry he can't make a cameo, but we are strictly digital today.
Yeah.
I really just yelled. He scared the shit out of me.
You do that a lot. Have you noticed?
What, yell?
Most of the time it's not Brian though. It's usually one of the kids.
Because when they come up behind me, it's like it looks like a ghost.
Also, you do have headphones on.
When the filter's on.
Yeah, I have headphones. Yeah, when the filter's on. So yeah, it's just suddenly there's a face in the bottom corner.
Jackie.
Oh,
I said Jackie her avatar. Email this to her. I made Jackie a Disney princess avatar, which she'll be using, and she just texted me, I can't make it fit, which of course I replied.
That's what she said.
Exactly.
Yep. See, you got the words out. I was too much in my teenage boy mind. It just made me giggle.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys before we talk more about this performance and like as a way of conquering your crush. Well, first of all, sweeping epic gestures like this, do these things happen anymore? I don't know. I'm too old to know what goes on in the schools of high, but it reminds me of like all 80s movies and stuff where somebody does this huge grand thing. But the question I wanted to ask you guys, like in the After Today song where they're on the way to school, you're seeing all the different cliques, and there's lots of little, like throughout this movie there's little teeny little Easter eggs and jokes. But who was your high school clique? Who were you rolling with?
So my high school was mostly white Irish Catholic, so like all of the black kids were kind of a clique, but like we were all into different things. Except like it was like all the black kids kind of sat at the same lunch table, and like there was never like a discussion about it. It just kind of happened, and yeah, we were all into different things. So it wasn't like I was in the music department, but I was also a cheerleader, and I was also on the track team. So it wasn't like all the music kids sat together and all the jocks sat together. Like it was a blend, and like the common ground was like we were the small group of black kids. We were the mean black hotties.
The mean black hotties. Let's make that our band name.
What about you guys?
I think my group was pretty mixed as well. I think we all met each other at the same time, but separately, if that makes sense. Like some of us had classes together, and then we all just kind of like merged together. I was definitely the resident nerd, as well as was I the only athlete? No, there was another one of us that played softball for a while, but that was it. I did softball, soccer, was encouraged to do track. I just didn't want to do that. But usually it's either track or soccer that we have to get into, one of the two. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Everybody else I think was pretty mellow. I do know there were like two of us that were very quickly on the get the bag mind brain, because we started working like as soon as we turned 16. Not that we necessarily needed to, but just because the first kid syndrome.
My parents didn't let me
handle that. Really? Wow.
Like I worked on bass for a little bit. Like I can't remember which year of high school it was, but other than that, they didn't really let me work until it was like the summer, and then they wanted me to get a summer hire gig.
We babysat.
I mean,
babysitting is
I was gonna say babysitting, that kind of like came with for me.
It's the coming of age thing, right? You're just like when you're the oldest sister, babysitting is built in.
Well, depending on the kids that we babysat, it was work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't work, but yeah,
I had a friend who once babysat a child that was really troublesome, and he said that the kid always wore overalls, so he took his overalls and unstrapped them and like put them, like tied them over the banister and just had the kid sit there, right? Except he was in the bathroom when the kid's parents came home.
Oh no.
Oh.
Obviously he never babysat for them again. But
how old was he when that happened?
We were in high school. The kid was like 3 or 4.
Oh my gosh.
And like a terrorist. And needless to say, we obviously tried that out on our brother.
Of course, that sounds like some things you would do. Now, like I would be walking home from elementary school, and my mom would pass me in her cab on the way to work. And even though she knows I'm going exactly home, I never was one to goof around outside with my friends. She said, hurry up and get in the house. Your sister's on the couch and the food's on the stove. Put it away before I get home later, because she would be like on the 3 to 11 shift at the hospital. So that was my life. Exactly. Now, keep in mind,
raise your hands if you have family in healthcare.
Such a stereotype. Oh my god,
dude! My mom, my grandma, my aunts, every last one of them has done something in healthcare.
I used to work in healthcare too.
Yeah,
I would like to work in healthcare.
You should.
gross.
Jackie,
And also, hi, Jackie. I'm sorry, I
Hi,
didn't say hi when
Jackie.
you came in.
tell
Hello,
us about
everybody.
your first time watching a Goofy movie, if you remember.
Say again?
Do you remember the first time you saw a Goofy movie?
Yes, it was a toe tapping good time. It
And
was so good. It was so funny. To this day, I still quote a lot of stuff from that movie.
Facts.
To this day. And I just had my son watching it and he was just like, Mommy, can I please stay up to watch? I'm like, no, go to bed.
oh yeah, no, this is not appropriate for my lovely nephew who I love dearly, dearly, UI Scooty and back. But this is not age appropriate for you, Scooty.
You
That's
don't
what
think
we're
so?
calling him. This stream?
No. Sean is
We're calling him
sorry.
Scooty.
No, my little one.
Scooty.
No. Number one went to bed. Number two is currently screaming in the background that he wants to turn his fan on and off by himself.
Oh, well. YOLO.
Yeah, they do that.
No, but Scooty, as you have so aptly named him, he wanted to stay up and watch the Goofy movie because I currently have it on in the background. And he was like, but Mommy, please. I was like, go to bed. Bye. Bye.
Night, kiddo. Ask him why he hasn't texted me back in weeks, but that's another topic. So we were talking about who our high school cliques were. Mine was like, because we lived military based, like our groups were pretty diverse, but I was a Catholic youth group kid. And I did have a couple of other cliques. Like I had my outside of school friends who had nothing at all to do with like high school life. And then I had my high school friends, and like we were involved in Catholic youth group, and like a lot of them were sports players. I did stats for the basketball team, the boys team, so I traveled around with them. And I had a bunch of different groups, but I know that I was probably known as like the girl who gets the good grades and doesn't really talk to anybody who's not her friend. Maybe I had a reputation for being mean, or not mean, but like I think it was more that she probably doesn't like me vibes.
You had RBF.
Quiet.
RBF for sure, but like, you know, is it true that I probably didn't like you?
Yes.
I'll save that for when I get on to my friend Terrell Yelder's podcast. Shout out to the Get Right podcast, and looking forward to being on there with y'all. But yeah, it was like, for me, it was a very diverse experience, but I like made videos sometimes and I would hang out with like I don't know, all the people. I kind of floated around. I didn't have a set group except for the youth group kids, and they had all kinds of interests. Jackie, who was your clique?
I had a clique that was popular kid adjacent. Like they knew all the popular kids, whereas I just knew them, I guess. It was kind of like I was always known as Little Birch. You know, like nobody really messed with me. I wasn't one of the popular kids. I knew of them and they kind of knew me, but I was not at all a part of that clique. I was adjacent to the popular group. Adjacent.
Yeah,
I was adjacent to the adjacent popular group.
I mean, I guess it is hard coming into a school where you have two older sisters who are killing it.
But it wasn't that hard because everyone still knew me and I knew everyone and no one dared mess with me because I was Little Birch, you know? And like, so I kind of had like a pass because I was Little Birch, you know, the teachers knew me.
I kind of had a similar situation because my brother used to beat people up. my older brother. So like everyone knew like that's his little sister.
Yep. That's exactly how it went for me. So they're like, "Oh, you're Nikki's sister. Oh, your bestest sister." I was like, "Yes, they're my sisters. Yes. How can I help you?" And they're like, "Oh, no, you're good." And especially, but I will say this though, because I was Little Birch and because of our prowess and our reputation in I meant reputation in JROTC. We kind of had our own thing. So I was well known throughout the school because of JROTC. You know, we were killing it in JROTC.
Oh, look at my little schnookity bums voicing his opinions in the background.
Yeah, let me go stifle that kid. I'll be right back.
Stifle, she says.
Love that.
Yeah. Goofy movie. Yeah. High school cliques are, I mean, I I didn't hate high school. I really enjoyed high school. I was over it, but I really enjoyed it because I had a good crew of people. Middle school, before I moved to the place where I ended up graduating, I fucking hated. Like, people were so mean in middle school. Like, I got teased and bullied. Not, I wouldn't say relentlessly, but like girls were just so mean at that age, you know? It's like my mom still picked out my clothes and did my hair, and these girls were like giving blowjobs and shit already. And I was like, what? I just want to read my books and be left alone. My books and listen to my records and my radio and be left alone. But yeah.
That was my life after I moved from New York. Well, was moved, not my choice, from Brooklyn to Dayton, Ohio. Like, they did not understand. I people that like to actually just be quiet and read books. They had never, for whatever reason, I got the impression they never saw folks with their hair braided on a regular basis coming to school. And I still very much had the New York slang and way of talking for that time in my voice. And they
What was your favorite New York slang word that you brought that they were like, what does that mean?
Word.
I had to explain word to someone over the summer that I
as
saw over the
as
summer.
That sounds, and you would think, yes, that's easily decipherable. Not these kids. They didn't know about it. They never, the concept of anyone even from like the West Indies, let alone from New York, that just like blew their minds.
For me, like, I got bullied in like 6th grade, and my brother knew the bully's older sister, and he tried to tell her sister to leave me alone, and it didn't work. And so then he told me just to hit her, and so I did, and then she left me alone.
Yep. Sometimes you just got to punch him in the jaw real quick.
Yeah, I was ready for a much more nefarious story.
Hit him in the jaw.
Nope. He was like, next time she bothers you, just hit her. And I was like, okay. And then I just punched her one day, and then she left me alone after that. And then we became friends. Because, you know, we were 11, and that's what you do when you're in middle school. You're like, I guess we're friends now.
Sometimes the movies don't lie. That does actually happen.
But yeah, after that, it wasn't so much that like nobody really cared that I was nerdy. It was just like, well, that's just who she is. Like the boys weren't really into me. And like my best friend was kind of nerdy. She was more popular than me, but she was also a bit nerdy. So, you know, I was more sword nerd and she's more vampire nerd. But awesome. Yeah, but like nobody really cared. Because again, there were so few of us, so it was like, well, guess we're all just gonna hang out.
I'd like to go back and address something that you just said now that I'm back. Sword nerd versus vampire nerd is a very interesting way of describing fandoms, and I'm here for it. I'd never considered that before. I was definitely a vampire nerd before I was a sword nerd. I became a sword nerd later in life.
I think I want to say I was a sword nerd first. Yeah,
I was a Goosebumps nerd first.
Oh, Goosebumps came later for me.
Goosebumps, Sweet Valley Twins.
Oh my god, I love the Sweet Valley Twins.
Sweet Valley Twins,
and
Sweet
Babysitter's Club.
And oh my goodness, Sweet Valley High. I'm thinking about those covers.
Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley High. Sweet Valley.
I think they were very much like teenage Harlequin romance books.
Oh, definitely. Now that you say that, like, absolutely. What was the thing that she had, like the red Fiat Spider? Was that what it was?
I don't remember. I just remember they were always described as a perfect size 6.
Yeah,
and I wanted to be a perfect size 6.
Yeah, and they had that older brother, Wakefield. Yeah. Anyway, we should do a Sweet Valley High / Twins stream because that was always a whole era. I haven't read one of those books in forever, but like, let's pick one and do it for book club.
I wonder if my mom still has mine.
Are y'all into damn it, what the hell was the other thing? 15. Did you guys ever see that show?
It's
like a Nickelodeon teenage soap opera starring Ryan Reynolds, and actually a few big stars that are out still today. It was called 15. It's very interesting. And the Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. If y'all ever do one of them books.
Oh my god, I forgot about Nancy Drew.
I never got into Nancy Drew or the Hardy Boys, but I did like to Choose Your Own Adventure.
Mm-hmm. Choose Your Own Adventure was awesome.
Yeah, I did like Choose Your Own Adventures. I read this whole article about them bringing it back, and I do not remember. Sorry, I was just like real quick. I meant to talk about like the cast of this movie. Because there's so many famous people. There's like Bill Farmer, who's been the voice of Goofy forever and who is still living. He's 74. I Googled that shit yesterday. Pauly Shore, who is Bobby Zimmerowski, but he's not listed at all in the credits.
Really?
Not at all, because I watched them from
why
yesterday. I think it's because
Tevin Campbell wasn't credited either.
Yeah, neither was Tevin Campbell. He's credited in the vocals, like when you see the vocalist, but like in the general credits.
I would expect that for Tevin because it was just a pure singing role. But Pauly Shore, like in the 90s, Pauly Shore was in his bag.
I think it's like, because he was maybe too famous. He may have said like maybe don't credit me because it was so obvious that it was Pauly Shore. Because I remember looking at like watching the credits and waiting for his name to pop up, and it just never did. But like they have it there now. What's his name? Principal Mazer was Wallace Shawn, aka Inconceivable.
We need to talk about that movie.
But speaking of awkward dreams of romance in the very beginning of the movie, Joey Lawrence was my first intimate dream that I ever had. And he's actually in this book too. He's in this book. He's in this show too. Like he's the guy with like the flippy hair. He looks like Joey Lawrence. And he has like 3 lines in the entire movie. But like, yeah,
I'm going to have to go back. Yeah, Joey, and this I think also, this was when young Joey was in his bag. Also.
Yeah, because they had the other chick from Blossom who was in it too. Blossom's friend.
Maya, what's her name?
No, Jenna Von Oy.
Oh, Jenna Von Oy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Jenna Von Oy.
What have I missed?
You've missed us talking about the cast and crew of this.
Nikki was talking about dicks. Tell the truth.
I was talking about wet dreams and the first ones I ever had.
See, I missed all the good stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what you get when you have children.
I mean, look. Well, okay, Tag, you're it.
Well, I don't miss it. I don't have anything good like that. But back to the cast and crew. I was wondering if anyone knew that the girl that played Roxanne's voice was also in ER.
Who was she?
Does anybody remember the episode of ER when I think it was Noah Wiley and a blonde girl that he may or may not have been having an affair with? They got stabbed by a patient. I think her name was Lucy in the episode, and she died.
I do not.
Yeah,
I didn't watch ER.
Unless they were
really.
I wouldn't remember.
I don't know why that stuck with me my entire life since I found that out.
Oh, who is Jim Cummings? Jim Cummings is like, he plays Winnie the Pooh and so many other people. He's from Youngstown, Ohio.
A lot of voice acting over the years.
Yeah, he was Pete. Yeah. So, imagine that your parents stow you in the back of a van and drag you halfway across the country and you lie to your new girl crush that you're going to, like, what an epic lie. Has anybody ever lied that big?
No.
Absolutely not.
Not to my recollection, no.
Bro, like, even the Dementors can't come and suck away the soul of that lie. That was wild as hell. Like, how dare you? What if your dad would not have been chill with you changing the map?
Like, imagine a heart-to-heart talk, like floating down a fucking stream, and your dad's like, you know what? Let's not make you a liar. We gotta get you to that concert. It would be like, no, your ass is getting beat.
Yeah, I was about to say there'd be physical violence if I pulled something
that would
like
be.
That.
Yeah, that there's absolutely
actual physical violence.
Goofy is the epitome of gentle parenting.
Yep, that's what we talked about. Yes, it's so true. It's so true because, like,
but he takes it to a next level. He goes beyond gentle parenting into permissive parenting.
You know,
but also goes above and beyond. And he's the parent every kid wants to have. I mean, what kind of parent would go from a random, like a spontaneous vacation to a concert, like backstage, on stage concerts in LA. I mean, come on.
Not mine.
Concert that your son lied about to get to, and he was like, "All right, well, you know what? Fuck it.
We're already here.
Let's. All right, you know what? You trying to get the girl, baby? I want you to get the girl. Okay, so he became instant wingman extraordinaire, and he made that shit happen.
I feel like what would have happened in our case is that our parents would have taken us to LA. They would have driven us past the venue. They would have bought tickets and made us wait in the car. You're like, you see what you get when you lie. But speaking of permissive parenting, Tanya, like I have to agree because like he gets the phone call from the fucking principal saying that your son has caused a massive disruption and or disturbance and saying that he's gonna go to jail and all this shit. And you take him on a road trip?
Right.
And he didn't even talk about the phone call.
About it.
They don't even talk about the phone call.
I don't understand that. See, that's why I said as lovely as I think Goofy is, I have some issues with how he handled some of these things. I
don't think they had a chance to talk about it, though. I think he would have had a chance to talk about it if it hadn't gotten to the point where they, had their car ruins and had they gotten a chance to get to the camping spot, they may have had a chance to.
They should have had that conversation
in the car,
even
before they left the house.
We're home. This is what happened. Guess what? Your summer is ruined. You're coming with me, so I can keep an eye on you. Like that. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of House Party, right? Where his dad gets the phone call and he was like, I'm gonna bust his head to the white meat or whatever he says. And it's just like he spends the entire movie trying to catch his son out at this fucking party. And at the end, what happens? He gets his ass.
He gets that ass whooped.
He's like, oh no, you're not gonna play me.
All right. Also, our R.I.P. Robin, your comedy is missed, sir.
R.I.P. 2 fingers in the air and a fist.
And a drink.
That's what she said.
Toast.
One can hope.
I love us.
You know what else cracked me up about this movie is that I have in my notes one that says, "Why you fucking lying?" Haha, that song. But also, no seatbelts.
It was the 90s.
No
seatbelts.
And like after the whole shit with the fucking 8-track deck, he still let him sit in the front.
No, oh my god,
yeah, allowed to sit in the front anymore.
Oh my god,
it didn't matter. You could bounce off the whole dashboard for all they cared in the 90s.
Did anybody notice during that open road song with that big fat lady and that little tiny dude, where she went, yeah, like when one of the lines was, and some odd romantic episodes. I was like, excuse me, kids movie.
Except that was the same woman who was like, nah.
Oh, I know. But I was like, excuse me. Like I was today years old. I was like, excuse me.
I was like, oh, because I watched it and I was like, well, I'm into this romance, whatever's happening. And I was like, but what is the odd romantics episode? Is it that you guys are together? Or is it that you are like gonna ride him like a pony later?
I mean,
that one's big, one's little, basically.
Yes, but what episode are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, ew.
BDSM. What's your favorite part of this movie, Jackie?
Anything involving power lines, to be honest. Bigfoot. Like, so I remember Johnny and I, or like my brother, or like our brother, just like cracking up when Bigfoot gets the headphones on.
No time to talk. Just the vibe immediately.
Hilarious.
Bigfoot gets a pass, and then
I know. Now, here's a question. Is Bigfoot white or black?
Black.
White.
Come on now.
White.
Oh, who said white?
Tanya said white.
Explain.
Rambling through the woods and shit.
Do you know the guy real quick? So okay, let me interject and speak for Tanya for 1 second and say that Tanya's idea of camping is the same as Pete's idea of camping.
You damn right.
She's not going in the woods with less than like an SU, like a camper that has a
Glamping.
pool.
Yeah,
Right.
yes,
Glamping
like
one.
I am. I'm sorry, I am not cosplaying homeless. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, you need a yurt.
PSA. Public service announcement brought to you by the Associates of 1001. If you've never seen any part of glamping YouTube, I feel like you need to treat yourself and go check out what the hell these folks are doing, because I don't like camping. I don't mess with the woods like that.
I do.
However, if I had their gear, I would absolutely be out there.
I don't
as
care.
much as
Give me a
possible.
sleeping bag and some sticks and some like something to start a fire with. I don't
Absolutely
care.
not.
I
Yeah.
would
Absolutely not.
rather go to prison.
I told Tanya
No.
this earlier, and real quick about Bigfoot. The voice actor who plays him is Frank Welker, who also is the voice of Scooby Doo. Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
And Velma
know that.
sometimes.
Did you know that Scooby Doo's name is actually Scoobert?
Scoobert.
I didn't know that as well. Yes.
Where
Scoobert.
is he from? Is he from the islands?
He's from Trinidad.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I need to see a picture of Scooby Doo with like a Trini flag do rag.
Absolutely, Trini.
Let's.
Who do I know that does art? Sanri. Let me send a message to Sanri and see if she'll hook us up.
I told Tanya this earlier, and I want to give a shout out to our friends Nate and James. We were playing a questions game when I visited them.
I'll be right back, ladies.
Bye. And they asked, one of the questions they asked is, which one of your friends would be the first to die in a zombie apocalypse? And without hesitation, I said Tanya, and Nate said one of his friends. And James was like, damn, y'all are throwing your people under the bus like that? I was like, no.
No.
These are facts. Tanya has told me she has no desire
First
to
wave.
survive a zombie apocalypse.
Nope.
Meanwhile, I'll be holed up in Home Depot, my least favorite place in the world, because I will figure out how to make weapons.
See, you're going to Home Depot. I would advocate more so for a Walmart or a Target, because there's not only food, but also ample supplies there. And specifically, I'm giving edge to Walmart because Walmart has weapons.
Oh, that's
Honestly,
true. They
I
do
would
sell guns
go-
at Walmart.
I would go to Jeannie's house because she's extremely resourceful
Mm-hmm.
and, has a good sized yard and all that with a gate. So I'd go to her house first and wait it out to see like if we're winning. And if we're not winning,
we're
then
winning.
yeah, like if it turns into
Yeah.
Walking Dead where like the zombies have clearly won,
Mm.
lights out, baby.
Yeah.
I bet that
is
Grimlock
exactly
would
the
be like
same.
the ultimate zombie destruction machine.
Yeah, probably.
I agree with that.
That's probably what he does at night when I'm
brand
sleeping.
of chaos. Look, you never know. Okay, you don't know if he don't got a little Coraline door in
He has
his.
all kinds. He has all kinds of secrets.
That's so funny.
I think that's it. Yeah, Tanya's in the same camp that Meeks is in. I've said always that I will give folks 2, maybe 3 days to get to me if some shit goes down, and then I'm leaving and making my way west to JD's house. He's my fallout shelter.
JD is a good
And Tanya,
fallout
actually, I
shelter.
think you were on the stream where you and Meeks both high-fived on the.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I want to survive. I'm zombie movies and TV shows. I am not ashamed to say The Walking Dead gave me nightmares. It's still I stopped watching after they killed, after they killed Glenn. Because if you haven't seen it by now,
you
motherfucker,
missed
it's
so
too
much,
late.
though.
I stopped watching it then.
because it's
Also, wait,
brutal.
ladies. Yeah. Shameless plug. Go check out the Walking Bread channel, y'all. I'll be voicing my show on there.
Yes, that's true. Go check out The Walking Dead. But I just like it was too brutal when they started killing people. I'm like, but wait, we're all still here. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But
It's Negan. Humans are trash.
I know.
I quit because I thought the cliffhanger was stupid and it just pissed me off.
Wait, what was
It
the
was-
cliffhanger?
Who did they kill?
After.
Oh, right.
No, it was
right.
because they gave us like 2 fake out deaths for Glenn. So by the time Negan got there, those of us that had at least read up to that point in the comics knew what was coming, but then they added on Abe, and they kept us guessing in the off season, and that was the bullshit that a lot of folks.
It was so stupid, and so I basically
forgot about that.
Yeah, I basically waited to see who it was that was killed. It was Glenn, and then I just stopped watching. And I was like, "Yeah."
Did they kill 2
You
of them?
did.
Though?
He did, yeah. They killed Abe as well.
Yeah, that was
the
the redhead
redhead.
dude, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Sasha. Yeah, Sasha's dude.
Yeah.
You did miss some things though, Tanya. I
No,
haven't gone
it
back
was
and
just
watched the
so
whole
fucking
thing, but
brutal.
there
I could
were
never go
some.
back. I was like I boohoo cried when they
Me
I was
killed
just bored.
Glenn. The same thing, like when they killed Daenerys's first dragon, I boohoo cried. Like I was sobbing
I felt for
during
Rhaegal.
that scene up north. And I remember my friend who I used to live with, he walked into the apartment. He was like, "Oh my God, who died?" And I was like, "To kill the chick." And he was like, "Are you crying over some like TV shit?"
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was
I'm
so mad at
fairly
me.
certain if you go look at my channel right now, there's several moments doing watch alongs where I'm very teary eyed. Me and Lauren actually, because we did a whole Stranger Things watch too. Yeah,
Man, not even teary eyed, girl. I was sobbing.
sobbing.
Sobbing about what?
About when the Night King killed Daenerys's dragon.
You know what? Don't even get me started because I'm literally rewatching Game of Thrones at this very moment, and I'm so pissed at Brandon Stark because of his nosy freaking didn't want to wait to learn ass. Because of him, Summer died, and because of him, all the children of the whatever, of the corner of the field or the forest or whatever died, and because of him, Hodor died, who I'm very, very glad did not become a White Walker because of his nosy, impatient ass. All that happened.
Well, it sounds like it's time for a drink and drag.
We've been talking about it for actually about as long as we talked about the first one before it.
I mean, but you know what? It's like because we refuse to do a Game of Thrones hate.
But I digress.
What? Who is we?
Me and
Who's
Tanya.
we?
Me and Tanya.
Okay, that's okay. Jackie, I'll hit you up.
God, I'm sorry. I'm literally at the episode where Daenerys just like rode Drogon to all the Dothraki after she left Vias Dothraki.
Oh, I thought you meant Rode Drogo, and I was like, hey,
Drogon, Nikki, you and I just went through this. I was today years old when I like realized that Daenerys named her dragons after her brothers. Oh yeah, and Nikki was all like, and Drogo. I was like,
damn it, Jackie.
What?
Now I have to deduct 10 points from your house. That you shouldn't just now be getting that now.
Look, I didn't read the book, so deduct like 100 points, okay? But look,
I didn't read it at that point when that came up. I didn't read the books either.
Because I was so like enthralled by the entire series that now that I'm rewatching for like the fourth time, I'm just now beginning to nitpick a certain thing, like some things, like I just now realized that they never made Hodor a White Walker. I'm now realizing that when all the dire wolves die, I can't watch. I really cannot watch them. I cannot. I fast forward or I plug my ears or mute it or whatever. I cannot watch that. But thank God we never saw Shaggy Dog die.
Real quick, since we're talking about ending on time for once.
No, I missed the whole freaking thing because my kids.
Well,
damn,
choices were made.
Hey,
so what is your favorite part of the movie? Oh wait, you know what? Real quick, because I need to mention this because it comes up. Like Pete's parenting style, Max's dad, his parenting style is completely different from Goofy's, right? He's talking about keeping your kid under your thumb, which we all know only
under your thumb, Goof.
In people Pete's like us. Exactly. Pete's like absolutely snorting coke off of strippers' assholes and stuff like. Wow. Well, I saw him. I was at the club. It happened. I was there. But what do you think about the concept as in parenting to you parents of love versus respect?
They're both. They go hand in hand.
Yeah. You have to find that balance. I don't think having your kid just afraid of a backhand or a random suspect pot being thrown at their heads every day is a good solution. As Pete and some of my older generation have taken into their parenting, but you can't be what's going on, JD? Thank you, brother.
We mentioned you just a little while ago, JD. You're where we're coming for the zombie apocalypse.
Yes, you're the fallout shelter. He knows that. Yeah, I don't think ruling with fear is never the right answer. I think
it's not sustainable.
Yeah, exactly. You have to teach that child. If you want them to give you respect, you have to teach them what that actually is. And there's no better way than to be showing them some respect as well. I mean, yes, they're they're your kid. You want them to listen to you and do what you say, but having context on things, especially with child stupid logic, it will go a long way. You shouldn't have them fearing that you're gonna like punch them in the face every time.
Because like eventually, like I'm gonna be big enough to beat you up. So what are you gonna do then?
I mean, that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be controversial, but for me, to be honest, a healthy dose of fear breeds a little bit of respect. Will help breed the respect. But that's just me. Like, oh God, I can't do this. My mom will get mad at me. Or my mom will get mad at me. Then, that also comes with the respect. But ultimately, you cannot be your kid's friend. That's for me.
I don't think I believe in that concept either.
That for me is like the biggest thing that pisses me off, especially with in this day and age. You see more parents trying to be their kid's friend than be
spoiled brats.
Exactly. Than be their actual than trying to be the bad guy. Like little Susie's screwing up in school, but I'll just take her shopping and maybe have a talk with her about her behavior and maybe buy her some drunk elephant makeup. And I'm like, Susie is going to get her ass whooped and get grounded. Yeah. And they'll talk to her about why she's getting in trouble. And then she'll do better in school. Like my 12-year-old knows that if he does something wrong, he's going to get it. And then he's going to, I've gotten so many compliments as to how well behaved, how respectful, how kind, how generous, how every positive thing my kid is. Because I'm not going to lie.
Awesome.
Well, that too. I had a village. I have a village that helps me with my kid, but they don't treat him like their bestie. I have instilled a smidge of fear that has bred respect, and all of that is surrounded by love.
Yeah.
And that may not make sense. That may not make sense to a lot of people.
It makes perfect sense. You have to have that balance. Complete fear is not the way.
Complete fear, no.
Their friend and never learning learning to tell them no and have them accept that they can't have everything they want at the times that they want it. I think that's important. And that's why I think Goofy needs to find a little bit of a better balance in how he does things. Pete, on the other hand, Pete just needs to go to jail. I'm sure he does many things that were illegal.
Pete is he's too military. He's too military-esque. As you saw when he was cleaning the camper van, he was too yes sir, here we go, yes sir. I'm like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah. He's like, he's just looking about. Meanwhile, he's like buffing the floors.
What else is he doing? How does he afford all that stuff and you just the photographer at Kmart?
It's because his wife makes all the money.
Kmart.
Maybe.
Okay, because we want to end. It's 10 o'clock.
Has anybody discussed Bobby?
We did a little bit.
The stoner kid.
How he's
you guys can continue without me if you want.
Lactose intolerance. Well, we could, but before we do that, Tanya, what's your favorite part of this movie?
Powerline, by far.
I mean, yeah.
I was at remember we were at Comic-Con. We stopped. Did you see the guy who's cosplaying as Powerline?
I don't think so.
Oh, there was Powerline cosplay. It was all about
that.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I like Powerline, but I would champion what Max did at the beginning because he did all that nonsense to impress a chick, and I understand his thought pattern on that level.
And she loved it, and she already liked him.
She already liked him from the very beginning. He was just too stupid boy to notice. And also, wait, shout out to her best friend, because baby girl had her back in every way, shape, or form. As soon as Max got popular and all them little biddies tried to start coming out the woodwork, baby girl stepped in right there like, nope, we're going over here. He's taken.
Girl, he's Roxanne's. Yep.
That chick, she is my favorite character.
Shout out to the girl who tried to hit on Max's outfit, though, because that's like everything I was trying to be at that age and was not allowed to wear yet.
Oh my God, totally. Like my son,
did he blush when he saw her? Jackie used to tell you about Scooty's reaction to Jessica Rabbit the first time he saw her.
Was it like how
I don't even want to talk about that. Oh my
Let's
god.
just say that he saw Jessica Rabbit came on screen and he couldn't handle it and ran out of the room.
I was like, that is not okay. Oh, but real quick, since you want to end on time, you're talking about everyone's favorite part of the movie. I think mine, honestly, which was the most gut wrenching part, was when Max had to save Goofy with the perfect cast.
When Max had to say
No, we're not letting you. Wait, Tanya has to go. Sign off.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
All right, so yes, Powerline was my favorite part of the movie. I'm gonna have my kids watch it because last night they did not pay attention, and also my husband loves it, so it's definitely gonna get watched again. I did enjoy it. I just wasn't a Disney kid, so I didn't watch it back then.
Well, now you're Disney mom.
But yeah, I have to go. So you ladies have fun. I love you.
If you guys watch it tomorrow, let Ellington know. Oh, oops.
You can't see it, but we all have.
We're watching it again on Thursday.
Okay.
Watch party.
I'll wait for Thursday then. I'll just let him watch it with you Thursday.
Okay, drink and drag schedule sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Tanya.
Heart chews.
Switches.
Okay, I'm gonna count this as like the first time we've continued to stream where Tanya had to leave.
I know this is not. This is odd.
Actually, wait, no. I think it's happened one other time on my channel, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I mean, we've both I know that I've exited your channel early because I had way too many drinks over the course of the streams.
You talking about New Year's? You exited the channel early, girl. I was gone before you were.
You had technical difficulties. That doesn't count. I did celebrate 3 New Year's time zones with you.
You did. I watched it. I saw the chats, and one thing was that everybody was like, "Yo, AK is gonna trip the fuck out when she sees this chat in the morning."
I mean, the best part of where's Jackie C? She didn't jump on tonight, but
oh yeah, that's
Jackie
right.
C
Jackie C is usually here.
Coming on and being on video with us was incredible.
For the first time, and
she's on video. And I missed it.
Yeah, yes. Watch the New Year's stream.
I missed half of it. Yeah. I think I may have privated it, but I will send you the link then.
Yeah. Oh my god, I want to see her face.
Yeah, no, she was so great. I was so happy to see her. Shout out to Jackie C.
She is every bit of the genuine, awesome, random knowledge nerd that she is in the chat.
Of course, she's named Jackie. Hello, we're awesome.
Shut up.
So wait, I have a question. Since we don't have to end at 10. It's 10:04. I have another question before we talk about favorite parts and wrap up because I actually have shit to do.
Yes, more thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Lester's Possum Park.
Oh Jesus. Lester's Possum Park.
Look, if ever
don't you want to be? Hey,
the park is always free.
I'm gonna spin some Disney lore here.
Let's go for it.
I'm going to posit that amusement park was shut down and abandoned many moons ago, and some random bored redneck wanted to get some easy money for as cheap as possible on his dollar, and he came up on this property, and he has hot wired all of the things to have the little bit of electricity that they get for those bum ass puppets that are completely
nailed together
apart. And that's why that's why it looks the way it does. It's not an actual functioning park. He just went in there and saw the scam for what it could be.
You know what? That made me think of what Tanya tweets at Disney once a year.
Oh shit.
And it's one of my favorite things.
Do tell.
She says, "Release Song of the South, you cowards." And I feel like Lester's Possum Park is it's like the animated it's a Song of the South. That's what the amusement park would have been part of that.
It is 2025. We are in season 2025 of Earth, and our alien overlords that are having a ball watching us in the other galaxies on their live Netflix Earthflix subscription They are just waiting for some random shit to pop up, and that's going to be the tea right there.
What's wild?
The minute they release that.
We are in season 2025 of Earth. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first fully animated Disney film, came out in 1937. And we have that. We've got Dumbo with the little disclaimer at the beginning now saying that the views don't mirror, blah, 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 blah. It was a different time, but we still don't have Song of the South. And that's where Zippity Doodah comes from, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know.
And they co-opted that song for what was the name of that damn show? Eureka's Castle. They rewrote.
Shout out to our brother because he loved that show too.
I love Eureka's Castle. That was one of my favorite. That and Fraggle Rock used to come on back to that.
I love Fraggle Rock.
I would love to do an entire Jim Henson stream, but like I am the only stan. So
excuse me, did we not? Hold on, no, we spoke about this before, Nikki. You were supposed to put it on the books.
Oh, but no. I told Tanya recently that the Great Muppet Caper will be, if we can only do one Muppets thing, it'll be the Great Muppet Caper because it is star-studded. It is hilarious. It is.
We have to get our sister in on this one, Nikki.
Age as well. I mean, she could join us.
Okay, yes.
Her boo can join too.
I volunteer as tribute for that one. And
yeah, because you know what? I think that the Muppet, like the original Muppet movie, like I really love, but I don't think it has as much mainstream
as a couple of the others.
As a couple of the others. Like Jackie's a fan of Muppet Treasure Island. I'm not really a fan of that movie.
I
love the Great Muppet Caper.
It's not my favorite, but I like it.
Not my favorite.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but like to me, like a Muppet, the Great Muppet Caper, and then
the Great Muppet Caper is a classic. I love
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Yep. I went to Philadelphia to watch that movie played with their symphony orchestra. Like that's the type of Muppet fan that I am. It was incredible. Nice. I cried. I ate gummies next to this family, and they looked at me, and I was like, I don't care. I'm eating this entire Rice Krispie treat lollipop in your face. I'm sorry your mom didn't buy one for you. But yeah, no, it's like those are my favorites. You guys know that I love the Muppets. They were literally my first love. But that'll be a thing that comes up. But getting back to a Goofy movie, what's your favorite part, AK?
The opening, the beginning, not the dream sequence, but
the
Max
song
going like all in with this elaborate thing to do as a gesture to just to get the clout enough to say hi to his crush.
It's the equivalent of holding up the boombox outside the window, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what it actually does is I gathered from their history that he wasn't really ever the most popular kid at all. But once
hold on real before you continue. They've been laughing since I can remember, but they're not going to laugh anymore. No more Maxie the Geek. No more Goof of the Week like before.
They've been messing with this kid. They the Riz for him had not kicked in yet. He hasn't like his dad. Because we talked about the Riz that Goofy has. Okay. But he's just now coming into his own, and this literally was his opening ticket because for the rest of the movie, what we saw, there wasn't nobody really messing with him in a bad way. Like that. Everybody was giving him props. The girls was looking at him, trying to say, hey, boo, I see you over there. And he nerdy, but he kind of cute though.
He knows all the power line dances.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to Roxanne's wing lady for coming through and scooping all them birds out the way so she can go and have her conversations.
What's her name? Nancy?
Oh, yes.
No, Stacy. I don't know what position in football is the one that they stick the arm out and like push the other people away, but that's what Stacy is.
Yeah.
The linebacker or something. I don't know.
I want to say I want to say halfback, but it's been a while since I've been on the soccer field. So I'm trying to equate it to like American football.
Yeah,
I feel blasphemous anytime I say soccer because
me too, because it's football.
Football.
Yeah, Jackie.
So that's my favorite.
Jackie, what's your favorite part?
Well, like I said earlier, for me, it's when they went over the waterfall and Max used Goofy's perfect cast to save him, because I find myself having to breathe again until he brings him up.
Yeah. You don't want to be saved, don't save.
Like, I don't know. It's like, and then he brings them up, and then he brings them back up. He's like, the perfect cast, and then they like embrace. I'm like,
right, and that also, yeah, I totally feel on that. This is probably my runner-up scene because this is where, amongst all of the challenges and issues with each other that they've been having and not properly been able to talk and work through, this is the moment that happens. And as soon as they get back in sync with each other, boom, okay, you know what, you told a girl you're going to this concert, let's go on the hell to this concert and fuck it up for a real one.
Yeah, but like, think about it though, because like originally when Goofy went over the waterfall, he grabbed the end of the rod and he was like, oh good, I'm safe, and then you squeak that wee, and then the rod end falls off. He's all like, and I'm all like, every time that I watch it, and I'm like,
he almost got Wile E. Coyote.
Oh my God, right? And then he's like, oh, like, what's your tail? What's your tail? And let it fly. And I was like, and then you see his like face like being all serious. Then he's like starting to lose hope, and then you see the line get tight. And I'm like, oh my God! I like literally every time that I watch it, which I was like at least once a year, I'm all like, okay, I hate this movie.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. See, I just jumped over to the chat. Like, I mean, how you gonna be trying to like start the Stormlight conversations before you give me a chance to read it to participate, though?
It's because the last book in the first arc just came out, and I haven't read it yet. But it's been out It's been out since December, so you have like I've had time to reread all of the books, and the only reason I haven't started Stormlight 5, Wind and Truth. Shout out to Brandon Sanderson, because I can't believe I got this far in the stream without saying his fucking name.
Shit, damn.
I know.
Y'all are an hour and 13 minutes out. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Add that to your bingo card. Is that Sanderson doesn't get mentioned for an hour and 11 minutes.
Making a note right now. 30 points for Ravenclaw for that profile.
I know. I'm so ashamed. Now I'm so ashamed that I forgot even what I was gonna say after that, because like because I'm reading Arcanum Unbounded, which is like all the secret novels and all the stuff before. Anyway, if you know, you know. It's got like the Lost Metal and all the stories that can kind of connect the Cosmere together. But I digress. My favorite part of this movie, you know what it is? Like, I love all the moments that you guys have all talked about. Like, the Powerline songs are my favorite. I love that soundtrack. It's like, I wish that they would remaster the soundtrack and release it again, because I want to listen to the songs way louder than my speakers allow for.
Yes.
Because you can't, it's mastered like the 90s. So if you know, you know. But after listening to all of these things, my favorite thing, and the one that gives me chills every time, is when during that first performance of Powerline at the high school, where he's doing Stand Out, he walks up to Roxanne and he's like making eye contact with him behind his glasses.
Yeah.
And he does the speaking thing. If I could only look at you.
Right.
Walking by. There's nothing that I wouldn't do if it was getting you to notice.
You know what that reminded me of?
I love it. It gives you goosebumps every time.
All I need is half a chance, a second thought, a second glance of you. I got it. It's a piece of cake. A little bit of a crush
of Cedric the Entertainer, when he was talking about the old school singers with the smooth love songs. Teddy will talk to you, but if Teddy don't think that you listening, he holler at you, turn them off. and that attentiveness that they would give to just those specific inflections in the songs. If they're on stage, like,
baby, I see you in the front row,
like by yourself. Talking about with when he was talking about Michael Jackson. Is it all right if I come down there and sing to you?
Yes.
Yeah. That is what that
having girls faint. Oh my God.
And it gave me all my life. Like I'm having flashbacks in my mind right now of the first time me and my cousins watched this movie, because and honestly, I should have talked to you guys about it and to see if Daphne could come on here, because she loves it even more than I do.
Well, next week
they just don't make it the way that they used to anymore.
I mean, it's just like the whole thing of like singling somebody out, walking to them and being like, "Hey, baby,
specifically,
you know that I love you. Like, I see you out here, you by yourself,
making them feel like the only person ever.
I could be the one to like make your dreams come true, like with the deep bass in the voice.
Hey, baby, I know you've been thinking about me lately. I'm thinking about you too.
Oh, yes, I have.
You know what? Real quick, let me give a shout out to Ben Williams, who has got a song that starts out very Quiet Storm like that. And I remember when I heard it, I was like, yo, but he's from like the DMV. So like, that's where that shit originated in. Yeah, we all like the Quiet Storm voice, the deep Barry White bass shit.
Boyz II Men.
Boyz II Men. I forgot what, I think he became.
What was that? Was it Mike? That was in Boyz II Men with the super smooth bass voice.
I don't know. I don't need to know his name. I just need to know him. I just need him to talk to me.
I don't remember their names. I remember Wanye because my
Michael Sean McCary.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he left the group. I think I forgot. I heard that he became an accountant. But wait,
it was after Homeboy died, wasn't it?
It says that he's still alive in here.
No, not him. But didn't one of them die?
I believe one of them died.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I believe one of them did die.
It was one of the brothers, wasn't it?
Let's see. I'm gonna Google.
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Y'all have to understand. Like me, I know.
Philly's back again.
Here's a random secret that I've never told anyone.
Motown Philly, the whole world right now.
Motown Philly with Boyz II Men. That was one of the first songs that like got me into like the 90s version of like R&B and hip hop.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
That was one, but before that, I mean, obviously, y'all know where we're from. That was my go-to.
Oh yeah, no, it was Michael.
If you ask me about a Mighty Sparrow song, I could tell you every freaking word in that whole man's repertoire. But
I can tell you every word in that whole man's repertoire.
Or R&B and any of that. It wasn't clicking until Boyz II Men. Before that, it was just soca and calypso or heavy metal, like Bon Jovi, Poison, Motley Crue, all of that.
Speaking of soca and calypso, my dad took me to soca, calypso, and calypso soca Zumba class on. It was a workout class on Sunday. I don't do choreographed dancing very well. To put me in a club and put on some soca music, I can whine to the cows come home. But put me in a freaking choreographed dance, I can't do it.
Into the cows come home.
To the cows come home, man. I be whining with that best I am, you know. But put me in a choreographed dance, I can't do nothing. Nothing, man. I be falling down in the floor, man.
You know what?
That's first of all, that's bullshit because Jackie, like in my family that I grew up with, Jackie and Johnny are the best. Like they can like do like they have the moves. Me and
choreographed. Don't put me in a choreographed dance. I'm tripping all over my feet.
You look better than half the people in the video.
Can you do the electric slide, Jackie?
Oh yeah.
Well then.
Then I don't believe you that
can you do the Cupid shuffle? Yeah, I've seen you do it many times. Can you do the wobble? Also.
Okay, that's like after like a month of learning it, but like for a Zumba workout, I can't. Well, then I ended up getting a migraine too, so I couldn't even see her feet. But I'm just saying,
you did fine. Corinne.
Hey, shout out to my girl Corinne. What's going on? Corinne is absolutely one of my mainstays on the channel. Always appreciate seeing you come out, Ma.
Hi, Corinne. Welcome.
And shout out. I saw we did have a few shadow lurkers earlier. I did try to put the word out. Shameless plug again. Like, you know, girl just hit 1K.
I was just about to say AK with the 1K.
Hey.
Right now. I can finally get some pennies on the ads that run through my streams.
We like the cash. I was trying to make a cash sound with my microphone. Benji! Yo! You guys. So shout out to
there's
Benji.
Another Benji that I know, and I got happy for a hot second because I was about to say,
I'm so happy to see Benji. Benji is one of my brothers from another mother. He is an incredibly talented musician. And I love you
Hey.
so much, Benji. Thanks for dropping by to say hi.
Any friend of Tanya and Nikki is a
Shout
friend.
out to the Caribbean crew. Wind your waist, Benji.
Hey,
Wine, Paloma, wine.
wine again.
Yeah.
Yes, Corinne, your first time here. Thank you.
See, look at Benji dropping his flag.
Out.
Boom.
Hey, get that.
Damn
it, I didn't even know we could put flags up in the chats.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, St. Lucia flag is all I ever want to put every day.
New today.
And that's Haitian. Oh, see again.
Mhm.
That now I'm even more mad that Daphne's
That's what I'm saying. Benji. Text
you
me.
didn't hear that. Strike that from the record.
So stricken.
Yeah.
But have y'all noticed, like especially last year, people on TikTok and like YouTube were all up in the Powerline phase,
as they should be, because that.
But they're like, I'm like, y'all are so new.
You know what's funny?
Y'all are so new.
I posted a video on my stories the other day, or yesterday, and it's something that I hadn't found before. I'm gonna find her name and I'm gonna drop it in the Instagram because in the chat because I saw it on Instagram, and it was basically a video like talking about like the choreography and the dancing, and they had an interview with Tevin Campbell who was saying that it was for him. Because we put it in our stories and I tagged you,
okay.
He was talking about like he never had to sing that fast before. So it was learning a new skill for him. And I found that to be incredibly fascinating. I need to track down the entirety of that video because man, Tevin, like I go back and Tevin Campbell is in the rotation permanently.
Same. Oh my God.
Always.
I love
the
Jackson. Like Don't Say Goodbye is one of my favorites. Halls of Desire is one of, like I really love that.
Can We Talk is my ultimate. My ultimate.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did y'all? I mean, it may have just been me, but did y'all ever ship Tevin Campbell with Tracy Spencer when they first came out?
No, not when they first came out, but now I'm like,
I mean, when they were
who Tracy Spencer is.
Tevin has finally been comfortable in his skin.
Thank God.
To his sexuality. Thank you. Like I feel like I could hear that through the music already. But I was happy once he finally took the plunge. But yeah, back in the day though, when they were still kids, it's like after he did that cameo on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Right, like after that is when I started thinking about it. You and Tracy would actually look good together. But yeah, that was basically it. Hold on, what were we talking about?
Of course. I just want to, before we even do that, I want to give a shout out to Tevin Campbell. Period.
Absolutely.
Like
that movie, I don't think it would have been so much if it weren't for him.
They did you dirty, bro. And like,
he's the reason we like Caroline so much.
He's the reason that we like a Goofy movie so much.
Exactly, 100%. That movie would not have done so well without him.
Like I would have liked the movie, I would have enjoyed it, but it would not have been something that I go back to, and that has like become the canon of my childhood.
Exactly.
Killer soundtrack. Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Jackie wasn't here earlier when we were talking about like basically like the social awakening that I had when I first not just me but me and my cousins when we first watched this movie, because we couldn't tell exactly where Goofy should fit. And
we're talking about racial demographics.
Well, he's a dog, he's like, but he moves around like a human. I'm like, okay, but Pluto's a dog, and they very perfectly depict him doing dog things and not talking or having a mortgage or a child to raise. So after this came out, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And I feel like it's almost an unspoken thing, sadly, in the atmosphere. But the reason I say it's unspoken is what I was telling Nikki and Tanya earlier when I was talking to one of my coworkers, one of my friends, about the stream we were doing tonight, and I told her why you guys had picked a Goofy movie for not only Valentine's Day and random love stories, but also for Black History Month. I didn't have to explain to her why Black History Month would apply. And I'm saying that specifically because this is a white woman that I was talking about, and she was like, "Yeah, that tracks."
Yeah, we all know Goofy, like we said this earlier.
And so this was the time. This was when Goofy came out of obscurity and just a random character that's there. We know why he's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. If you had to pick humans to play Goofy,
oh God, I hate this question already.
haha. If you had to play humans to play Goofy and Pete, who would they be?
Goofy, my first thoughts for right now would be Kevin Hart. If it was back in the day though, I would have picked I don't remember his last name, but Oliver. I think is he Jamaican? I don't remember, but he is a West Indian comedian from back in the day. Actually, is it Samuels was his last name? I think Oliver Samuels. Nikki, you and Tanya had cast him to be a potential older Anansi for Anansi Boys.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at him. Yeah.
So yeah. I think that he would have gone well to play
76 years old
Goofy. For Pete. That's
I already have mine too.
Well, let's hear your two because I've got zero.
Yeah. Okay, so if it was for Goofy, I would have to I'd have to say Dave Chappelle in his earlier years for Goofy.
Oh my God! Yes,
very, very good. For
you're talking Pete, about like Half-Baked era Dave Chappelle.
Yes, exactly. And I was like Chappelle's show era. I would have to say for Pete, maybe Cedric the Entertainer.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that works.
See that. But now I want Bernie Mac to be.
I just said Bernie Mac. Oh my God, are we related?
I want Bernie Mac to be.
Are we related?
That's what I was about to say.
Head to the white meat.
After that, yeah.
I literally just said Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac jumped into my brain like, nah, that's.
Oh my God, you guys, we're awesome. Yes,
absolutely.
I would want to play Goofy.
Nerds of a feather to stick together.
You know what's funny about like in this movie?
I love that.
You wait and you wait and you wait, and it's not until the very end of the movie that you're rewarded with Goofy's like classic Goofy. You get the off it,
and it's worth it though.
It's worth it.
It's not one of those times where they're just dragging it out, and there's endless filler that really doesn't mean anything. Every moment in this movie counted.
It really did.
You know,
and I really enjoyed that.
The story was very well put together, and there was no gaps in the sequence of this movie at all.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful.
Do we know who was in the writer's room?
No, but we could Google it, and if you want to Google it while I talk about something else, I would be grateful.
Yes, I will do so. Please continue.
I would say that Goofy getting his shine in this movie was something that was really important to me as a Disney lover.
Overdue.
But it also reminds me this makes me think of Muppets Haunted Mansion, the Halloween movie that came out a few years ago, where Gonzo and Pepe get their shine. Like they're off on their own mission while everybody's having their Halloween party or whatever, and they're like, we're gonna spend the night at a haunted house. But then you get to like see Gonzo's inner life, and you know, we know that he's a daredevil. He's the great I'm cutting him short. The great Gonzo. And I really enjoyed getting to see him kind of live out like in a Muppets Christmas Carol, he's the narrator, but in Muppets Haunted Mansion, he is the great Gonzo, and just everything that comes with that. And I really, really enjoyed that. And to me, a Goofy movie is like that for Goofy.
Did y'all know Dante Basco was on the damn voice actor list?
Hold on, let me Google what he looks like.
Do you remember who Dante is? Rufio.
Oh yeah. I saw him, but I didn't recognize him because did you know?
I did not know that.
Is he also Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender?
The movie or the cartoon?
Hold on.
Or anime, sorry.
No, in the anime. Hold on 1 second.
Really?
I see Zuko's come up.
I didn't know that.
Zuko.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Cool.
He voices Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which you all know we stan.
That's awesome. Yes.
Well, animated me.
Yeah, and definitely lately you and Tanya, but also Jackie, if you're watching the Airbender that's on Netflix, come through for a chat.
I wish I could bring my nephew on, but we're not gonna do the one because we have been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the like animated one, since he was maybe 6 or 7, and he finally finished it on his own. And then while I was home for the holidays, like every time I go home, we watch an episode, and we finally watched the last one. So me and Scooty are very excited for season 2 to come out like next year.
Okay. I don't know if Rotten Tomatoes is giving me the accurate information here, but I'm not seeing what I thought I might see.
Rufio
production list, which kind of makes it even a little more special because all of these folks behind the scenes clearly understood the assignment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love when people take animated movies seriously as voice actors. This is we talked about this. This is the gripe that I have with anime sometimes, especially when it's voiced in English or dubbed in English, because like you can't be cutting people's heads off and saying it like this, you know, like why are we doing that? You literally. So I think I've mentioned this before, but when I was home over, I think it was the Thanksgiving break, my mom comes in. I'm laying on the couch in the living room because nobody's fucking home, and I'm watching what was I watching? I was watching My Hero Academia because I'm trying to get through the seasons because it's so good. And my mom went to, she's in the kitchen about to make dinner. She's like, a big girl like you? And I was like,
I remember you telling me.
Yeah. And then somebody proceeded to get massacred. And she looked at, I was like, I told you this is not for kids.
And
like
kissing scenes, yeah.
Exactly. We should talk. I can do a whole drink and drag stream about this alone. Just because it's animated does not mean that it's a cartoon for children. Animation is a different medium of artistic expression that includes drama and horror and romance and sci-fi and all the things. Do not dismiss something just because it looks like a cartoon, just because it was drawn. Speaking of which, AK, have you seen shit, I'm gonna forget the name of it because of course I want to talk about it right now. Pantheon is on Netflix. I accidentally watched the first episode, I watched the trailer and it was like tick 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 tick, this girl's on a chat like on her computer, like a DOS thing, like super old school, and then she's getting all this person who's responding to her is only communicating back in emojis, and then her mom comes up and she's like, who are you talking to? She's like, no one. And she's like, who the fuck is this talking to my daughter? And then all of a sudden all these things start happening. It's adult animation. It is not an anime.
Adult anime.
It's called, I don't know what maybe people would fight with me over that, but it's called Pantheon. And I zoomed through season 1 and I'm like midway through season 2 and season 3 is coming. Anime, check it out. You will like it because
William Hurt,
yep,
Katie Chan, Daniel Day Kim,
yes,
oh wow,
Aaron Eckhart.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you look up the voice actors and a lot of these anime features that people
Neil deGrasse Tyson is on screen now.
Girl,
okay,
so
I'm definitely
when I tell you that it is an all-star voice acting cast, but the story is so good. Imagine that you could live forever, right? They can transfer your brain, but you can live forever, not get diseases, but you have to live in the digital world from there on. And it's really incredible. I'm surprised that you haven't seen it, AK, because it is.
I'm gonna really check it out, but it does actually sound like a couple other things that I've known about. Did you guys ever watch Altered Carbon?
Yes.
That premise, the premise that Pantheon has here that I'm reading, it sounds a lot like Altered Carbon, but there's
you know what?
Also,
here's the nail on the head, because I haven't read it. I haven't watched the show because I want to read the book first. Ken Liu, The 3-Body Problem. This is his.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. No, Zixian Liu. Ken is his American name. Zixian Liu. Yeah. If you for folks that are lurking in the chat and will watch later, go over to my homie, my bruv, Quinn's Ideas. And he has several videos on the 3-Body Problem, the books, as well as his thoughts on the show that was out in I forget what country it came out in. Was it China? One of the Asian countries. They had an original series themselves that I was watching actually on YouTube for I think the first 10 episodes were available. and they were really, really good. And he also has his thoughts on the Netflix version of Three Body Problem. I haven't watched the Netflix version yet, but the story is very, very compelling. And I think that it's a very realistic concept and thought on what truly would happen if aliens are trying to invade Earth.
Yeah, see, that sounds super fun.
It's really good.
The Pantheon is like, we are already here. We have the technology. We want to live forever. So why are we not uploading our consciousness to be able to do that? Right. Yeah. And like, this is what happens when everything starts out right, but goes wrong, and they stop telling people. And of course it blows up. And AK, like, I'm super down to do a stream about Pantheon because, like I said, I gobbled the first season up over the weekend, and I realized that I was like midway through season 2 and that there's no season 3 yet. So maybe pump the brakes and go back to watching Arcane.
I saw Arcane is on my list too. I haven't
But
watched
before Wheel of Time comes out, because that's in like 2 weeks.
That is exactly what I was about to ask you about, is if you have seen the previews.
I haven't, because I refuse. I saw your stream the other day, but I hate spoilers, so not coming on for that. But my mission between now and then.
Oh, we do too. We didn't talk spoilers.
But you talked about the trailer, which to me is
okay. If you haven't watched the trailers yet,
I don't watch trailers.
Jackie.
All right, ladies, I'm gonna have to bid the adieu because my little one refuses to sleep right now.
Oh.
Okay. Well, quick question though. Are you into the Wheel of Time?
Fandom? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, she hasn't watched it yet. She'd like it if she watched it though. So make
you
that
would.
On your
list.
So
if you can make it, put it on there. I would love to have you on the chat.
It's on Prime.
It's on Prime.
It's on Prime.
Yes,
I will prime it.
All right, there you go. All right, tell Snookity Bones good night.
He probably needs to hear from
Sean he has a fan club that he don't even know about.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's aware. the way that his aunts hype him up, trust me, he's aware.
Yeah.
He just made his stage debut, which I'm sure Nikki will tell you all about.
Oh, I wasn't talking about Scooty. I was talking about Schnookity Bones. But
Schnookity Bones is about to get his little backside whooped if he doesn't go sleep.
None of that, please.
No, he's just
it though, Mom. Gosh, why you
he's mommy. I want you. I'm like, go to bed.
Yeah. Well, he hears you yapping it up, so
that's probably why that's probably why.
Now.
Yeah, I know. He does the best snuggles.
All right. Well, good night to y'all both.
All right, love you both.
Yes, indeed. Heart shoes, pasta. And yeah, well, that's us signing off. Folks. Thank you for joining us.
Nikki, Tanya, Jackie,
Jax.
You know, we tried to talk about a Goofy movie, and I think we hit.
We did. We actually hit all the major plot points, but it wasn't a roundabout fashion with extra.
It wasn't a roundabout fashion. You know, my last shout out to the movie will be when Goofy is trying to clean up his son's room and Max's ass is late for school. And he's like, the Mambo King, everybody Mambo, because he doesn't know who the fuck Powerline is, right? However, when Max is in the principal's office and Roxanne comes and she's like, oh my God, I would sort of kind of love to go with you to this party. Max goes, everybody Mambo. And he takes that secretary in the principal's office for a twirl around the office. And I was like, look at him. Turns out that he can Mambo just like his daddy.
He just didn't know that the Riz was not unlocked yet. Exactly. He didn't know he had it.
And to end the stream with the wise old words of somebody, you become your parents no matter what the fuck you do. And on that note,
remember that.
I'm Nikki. That's AK.
And I'm AK.
And Tanya and Jackie were here too. And good night.
And if you're a fuck shit person, ask a ban.